So I just would like to express some views and information how the maritime sector as well as trade and tourism can influence on the development of Ukrainian economy and the development of the region, the maritime sector influence as much as possible. The Ukrainian-EU Association Agreement sets out a number of goals as to economic and institutional reform and reorganization of Ukrainian legislation. In mid of April 2016, the Ministry of Infrastructure of Ukraine developed the roadmap of the transposition, adaptation of maritime legislation of Ukraine to acquis communautaire of European Union. And on the first slide, I would like that you will see the information concerning the adaptation and approximation of our Ukrainian legislation in the maritime sector. Actually, I would like to notice that the main of the key priorities for Ukrainian activities in the transport sector is now the preparation for mandatory IMA audit scheduled for 2016. Another key priority is the accession to the ILS Maritime Labour Convention, and relevant work is underway. Also, relevant work on establishing the Ukrainian vessel traffic system according to European standards in its further integration into SafeSeaNet is carried out. The ship's control to provide maritime safety was updated in order to implement the requirements of Memorandum of Understanding of Port State Control in the Black Sea region. With the aim to deregulate ports activity, the government adopted a number of resolutions which will promote the simplification of control procedures during entry, leaving vessels from the ports. In order to see how we will move in our strategic directions, the Ukrainian authority, actually our ministry, developed and approved a strategic plan of the sea transport for the period for 2020. The strategic direction, goals and tasks are identified in this document. The strategic plan also takes into account short-term program documents of the Ministry of Infrastructure in terms of maritime transport, as well as relevant European and international documents. The strategic plan is aimed at introducing all national policy reforms and applying principle of good governance, including the development of institutional capacity and e-governance, fight against corruption and transparency. That to develop properly the sector in 2016-2020, all the major efforts will be focused on the following strategic directions: reform of subsector state management, implementation of efficient PPP reforms in the ports and expansion of strategic port infrastructure, development of electronic community, facilitation of check procedures, establishment of favorable conditions for the business. And the last is the improvement of navigation, safety and security level, development of search and rescue system, and environmental protection. What could be the expected results of the realization of this strategic document? It is the strengthening of the position of Ukraine as the sea state, then increasing the rate of transit capacity used, increasing volumes of maritime transit cargo traffic, improving commercial attractiveness of the seaport complex for the transport users, developing a client database, improving the logistic optimization rate in the seaport, and the most important is improving the performance of the monitoring and check procedures to ensure navigation safety and security and to minimize the risk of accidents.
Next year, I understand.
I would like to say some words about the main results achieved during 2016, 2015 and 16 in the field of maritime transport. It was the creation of favorable conditions to develop a modern model of the shipping business, improvement of attractiveness of maritime and river ports for cargo and shipping lines and first of all of container transportation, new level of attractiveness of the Ukrainian flag for ship owners, and attracting investment in the field of maritime transportation, shipbuilding, and ship repair. Here you see on this slide what are the ongoing projects of the European Commission which concerns the maritime sector. It is Traseka project which is already finalized on the maritime security safety, which is the main objective and priority for our sector to ensure the safety in the transportation of cargo and passengers. Also, it is the current project of European Union which supports the implementation of association agreement and of the national strategy for transport. So we have the planned projects and they are not yet started, but still we're expecting them. It is assisting to Ukrainian authorities to improve management of infrastructure projects. The overall objective of the project is to assist in providing effective, reliable and transparent infrastructure management, to develop a detailed analysis to identify barriers that stand on the way of planning and implementation of projects in the field of infrastructure. Also, we are expecting next year that the European Commission will launch the project on maritime safety, security and marine environmental protection in the Black Sea and Caspian region. And the objective of the project is to further improve maritime safety and security and to increase the levels of marine pollution prevention, preparedness and response in the region. Also, one of the priority of our ministry is to establish the national system of search and rescue at the sea. And we are now looking for the feedback of JICA, of Japan agency, to assist this project. As you see on this slide, it is just an overview of our ports, ports infrastructure. And in order just not to list everything, I would like to say that presently Ukraine has quite a strong port complex consisting of 13 seaports that are able to handle up to 230 million tons for cargoes per year. Also here on the slide you see that now we work with the European Commission on the upgrade of TNT maps, and we are expecting that in Rotterdam on the 20th and 21st of June these new TNT maps will be approved, which actually reflect the comprehensive and core network of European Union with the neighborhood countries. And I would like to mention that Mariupol, Mykolaiv, Yuzhny, Odessa are defined as a core ports on these maps. And on these slides, on the last two slides, I just would like to share with you some information about the opportunities for development of cruise business and some measures to be taken to increase tourist attractiveness of seaports of Ukraine. There are four main directions for maritime tourism. It is the Black Sea direction, the cruises from the foreign tourist class passengers liners which are served in the Odessa seaport, the Danube cruise, river journeys on Danube visiting Izmail and Ust-Danitsk seaports, yachting tourism as a separate touristic direction, and Dnieper cruises, but it is actually not very much popular for the moment due to the fact that there are obstacles on the Dnieper River in order to go through the whole territory, and also because of annexation of Crimea. And on the last slide, you will see the measures focused on increasing tourist attractiveness of the seaports of Ukraine. It is a huge promotion campaign should be taken. Then modernization and construction of new infrastructure to service cruise ships. Also, it should be harmonized Ukrainian and EU legislation in terms of marine tourism. It should be increased the economic attractiveness of Ukrainian ports by reducing the cost of ship entry. Then it should be created tourist information centers and centers of value-added services at checkpoints. And it should be created a new marinas that will be satisfy the requirements on modern yachtmen. And completing my speech, I would like to repeat the invitation of our moderator to the Universally or the General Assembly of the Association of Greece Ports, which will be taken in Odessa on the 22nd, 25th of June. And would like to thank you for your attention and ready for any questions and feedback from your side.
And the movie.
Откроется.
So you see, Ukraine is open for you in terms of tourism, in terms of transport. And thank you, Maya, for your great, deep, comprehensive presentation about the infrastructure and transport. Just a week ago, we had a great conference, several conferences during the Transport Week, which is annual event in Odessa. And the whole week we have here many events in logistics, in transport, in freight forwarding, in rail transportation, in sea transportation, and all countries of European Union and Balkan countries had here their annual Balkan countries Logistics Congress. So now I would like to introduce our next speaker, the director of Cruise Lines International Association, European part of CLIA, Mr. Marco Diogia, who will tell us about the perspectives of cruise lines business in Europe and especially Black Sea. Welcome.